Ladies and gentlemen, our next session, Unlocking Hyper-Resilient Cyber Defense with SentinelOne. Our speaker is the Regional Senior Director of Sales and Engineering in SentinelOne. Put your hand together for Ezzeldin Hussein.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ezzeldin Hussein. I'm working in SentinelOne. Happy to be here for the second year. Different topic. So last year we talked about how can we use AI in securing our environment. We will talk about AI. We cannot miss. Even the photo here is showing how our lovely Riyadh could looks like in the future using an AI, something I used to take a day work from me. Now I can do it just in a few seconds with one of those generative AI tools. So maybe yes, cybersecurity also needs such a capability. But before we start, let me just back to in history again, 20 years ago when we start talking to our customer in the region about digital transformation and why they need to do this. And it was a big debate. It's a slide, all the slide, by the way, I used to present maybe 15 years ago, why it's important to go for a digital transformation now, why you need to shift from traditional business to digital business. And it was a big debate, and we used to get a lot of laugh, a lot of jokes, where many customers don't believe this will happen. And we used to try to incentive them and discuss why you need it, why it's important for your business now. And the answer used to vary. Some people might say, we're a global company, we want to expand across the region. Or maybe you will say, I need another stream of revenue where I can get it from this digital transformation, access to different segment of customer, different region I cannot reach now. Or maybe your customer got spoiled to this mobile thing and they want to do everything in an easy way using a mobile app rather than doing it in the traditional way. I try to convince my son to go to bank after explaining to him what this bank means, and I gave up. He said, no, I don't want to deal with these things. I know I have my way to invest my money, so stay with your legacy, old guy, and I will do the new things where every new generation now is investing and doing. But one aspect of the moving to digital transformation we always overlooked is the resilience and business continuity. Definitely we will do it. Definitely we did it. All of our customers, all of you today in the room, more or less in your journey, either you ended, you finish it, you embrace a full digital transformation, or you are somewhere across the journey. But having 24/7 business continuity is a key. It's very important, and we need to make sure this is achieved. That's why hyper-resilience became a topic now, and you will see all the vendors speaking about it. Okay, got it, it's easy. We will go get one of those models and we'll try to implement it. Get a consultant firm, maybe we'll use, as you see on the screen, the Nest firm, and it's easy to give me all the cyber resilience I need. We'll start by identifying any attack, doing all the protection, detect, response, recovery. But what if the downtime or the resiliency issue we have has nothing to do with the ransomware? We always narrow our thinking. Resilience means I got hit by a hacker, the ransomware, and I need to take an action. I remember 15 years ago, I worked in a project in US, and I saw this big design layout of the project, and I tried to read it all. It's so huge. But one thing got my attention. They bought on each server 12 network cards. So, and half of it from a vendor, the other half from a different vendor. So I tried to show smart. So I asked the architect, why this? Why not all 12 cards from the same vendor? Isn't it easier for you updating, upgrading, batching all of this, managing it, even from procurement point of view? Isn't it easy? He said, exactly for this reason we use two different vendors. Because one day, we updated the firmware of our network card, and it has an issue. And the whole system went down for a week. So that's why for resiliency, we need to rely on two different vendors, two different set of network cards from two different vendors. Okay, so we need also to think about how can we skip this? We have a magical solution, cloud. So let us go to cloud. We all love it, private, public, hybrid, multi, whatever you name it, whatever you want to use. We all got a good experience when it comes to cloud because it's easy to use, instant provisioning, it's very easy, self-service, zero-touch environment, pay as you go, cost efficiency if you look for a cost aspect, and you can expand in an easy way. And suddenly, we started seeing a huge trend of moving our traditional monolithic fat application to be microservices. We're back again from the centralized, decentralized, and now we're back again to be centralized with the concept of the cloud. And this makes the developers' lives easier, because now those guys can really generate and produce an application in a faster way. And all of us now rely on in-house development rather than outsourcing, because we believe now developer will be in the front seat to lead any organization in this new era of the digital transformation. But one caveat of this model, I used to be developer. I used to assume my task end by compile, zero error, push to production. What about security aspect of this application? I don't care. Someone else needs to take care of this. What about the availability aspect of this application? Okay, not my issue. For me, my task is done by making sure the application is running smoothly with no error or bug. So then we start building an assumption and assuming things could be safe, secured when we move all this to the cloud. And this is one of the biggest mistakes companies did when they started the digital transformation journey. When they start moving to the cloud, they build an assumption this thing is secured by itself. So moving to the cloud, you don't need to worry about the aspect of security. You still need to do it. Maybe different processes, maybe different training to your people, maybe different technology or solution. Still, same people, processes, technology, but in a different way. Then everyone starts looking for a way to tackle this according to his persona or her role. CIO, for example, will be concerned about how can I do this digital transformation faster. Developer will think about how can I take my application to production in an easy and faster way. And CISO will think about how can I secure all of this? How can I be more proactive rather than reactive in this world? Then we'll start looking what could help in this hyper resilience to unlock a potential we never seen before. So I try to analyze what's happening recently in the AI. We know AI since 1950, right? Nothing new. It's all known, the concept of the use of machine learning with whatever kind of model, training as a neural network or develop a complex system where you give it set of data to be trained and start predicting pattern wasn't known before. We all do this a long time ago. But I try to see where is the spike happen. So I try to build a Google trend from, I couldn't go before 2004 till 2003, and you will see AI was a normal, there is no buzzword, there is no spike, right? Till 2022. Then I try to analyze what happened in 2022, so I created another trend for generative AI. And you will see the coincidence. By the time generative AI in early 2022 started spiking, we back again to put AI in the front seat of all of our discussion because we saw really how powerful it is. So what changed from 1950 till 2022, now compute became more cheap, more affordable. Data is really huge to the extent we don't know what to do with all of this data and how can to get value out of it. With the development of advanced modeling, then we start looking how can we embed this into cybersecurity solution? How can we look to the future of the cybersecurity with the rise of generative AI, and how can we leverage all these LLM models around us to make our life as a security team much more easier? This is what we really see how the trend is happening now. So we no longer go into a preventive focus as it used to be before. We go into anticipated as it happened now in the future. So we don't need to wait till an attack happens. We need a tool can help us and do forensic proactively and give us prediction about attack could happen. And to do this, you will need definitely different level of AI. And I'm sure you saw this slide 1,000 of times. Because again, there are a huge evolution happening when it comes to the use of AI. When it used to be basic AI, this is what all next generation antivirus is doing today in the market. You used to have a legacy antivirus detecting any malicious activity or files in your system by signature. Now, vendors and companies start using an AI to start detecting misbehaving on those endpoints. And then they move to the use of machine learning, and they advance by adding this supervised and unsupervised model to detect hidden pattern in this behavior. And now with generative AI, people love to use natural language searching. So I don't need to have a high-level skill set to be able to do threat hunting. I can do with my English capability, basic IT security knowledge, start threat hunting, because now I don't need to do anything rather than typing question, similar to what we are doing in ChatGPT. Wouldn't be a dream if we go to this SOC team who is challenging day and night by alert fatigue, by complex systems they need to manage, zero visibility on what's happening in their environment, having a lot of tools they need to take care of, shortage of skill set in the market. Can we augment this by an AI tool? And this is really what all vendors now in cybersecurity is looking into. How can we really use this new concept to first augment this skill set capability by using AI, reducing all of this complexity, giving it to an AI system, doing an filtration, correlation, and back to me with the result would be much better than I do it manually myself. And all what I need to do is a fine-tuning. And what about taking action on my behalf? If an attack's happening globally, wouldn't it be easier for me, my system, I have a system where it can investigate my infrastructure, my platform, and tell me, you know what, we notice there is an attack happening globally in the wild, and we have an indicator you are suspect for those attacks. This is how generative AI is helping the security operational team, and this is what we are seeing. A lot of vendor is moving, moving to enhance their solution capability around, and this is how it will benefit our customers. So we believe first it will help you to simplify all complexity in your environment. So you don't need really to do any kind of technical query activity. You simply type by natural language. So it couldn't be much simpler and easier than this. And it will be faster because this AI system will give you a guidance, what to do next, what question to ask after this one. So do I have an attack? Yes or no? Which machine? Do you see any indicator of those wizard spider? In which endpoint? Who is the user logged in? Since when? So see how now it's easy. You start navigating, asking, interacting with natural language with the system without really need to go into too much technicality to be able to get this result. And most importantly, those systems will never touch your data. So when you have such a solution, you have to make sure with the vendor, my data is safe. You will not take it to train your model. And this is companies like SentinelOne is doing. And we try to not touch your data. It's all about knowledge base. We use it, threat intel globally. We get it all community database. So we put all this together where we do all our searching with our LLM model. We never take your data. You never let any vendor take your data to be part of their training of their model. So this is really how you need to look at it. Now, it's not only about ransomware. Yes, it is one of the reasons you could have a failure or you could have a downtime, but it could be something else. So try to discover your blind spot in your environment. It could be vulnerability passes, could be attacked. It could be dependency on a single point of failure from a vendor, from a tool. So try to uncover all those blind spots. Think beyond endpoint. We used to consider endpoint is the main entry because, yes, most of the attacks will happen by lazy user. He got those when iPhone 16, since it's announced yesterday, and we'll be happy to click to see maybe I got lucky and get this iPhone 16 as a gift. And then the disaster will happen. So you need to think beyond the endpoint. Endpoint is important, but about identity, or about cloud workload, cloud data, cloud native. So how can you cover all those aspects, vulnerability, an operating system, in an application? How can you have a clear visibility on everything happening in your environment from end to end, not just focusing on a single service of attack? You need to look to all services of attack within your environment. And most importantly, and this is what I'm seeing a lot of attraction from CISO globally, how can I consolidate to less number of tools? Having 100 of tools managed by my team, trained on it, hustle of procurement, operational update, upgrade, batching, all of this is really too much. How can I make sure I'm consolidating this to the minimal number of tools? So this is just the architecture, logical architecture. This is how it should look like. Because there are a lot of buzzwords now in cybersecurity. Yes, AI one of it. Yes, automation one of it. But the one I see very crucial and very important is consolidation. How can I have one platform, if possible, where it can do all of what just mentioned in this hyper-resiliency plan? Protect my endpoint, protect my identity, my cloud workload, giving me risk management capability, powered by a generative AI system, can do all this natural language searching rather than the technical one. This is what you really need to look to. Thank you so much for your time. Hopefully it was helpful, and hopefully we'll see you next year here again.